Well, I would hope that people watching this movie aren't dealing with one of the adults who's psychotic, a son with bipolar. I think there are a lot of people who deal with a kid with addiction. I think anybody dealing with a bunch of teenagers all at once is overwhelmed.
Say hi to the camera.
I guess, I don't exactly know what I'm trying to accomplish here, but 6 months ago, almost 7 months, I brought this camera into your lives. And I was just wondering, how's it really going for you guys right now?
Toast.
Toast to a summer, a sober summer.
Two toasts without me.
To a soda.
Funny. You left me out of the toast, losers.
Oh, sorry, babe.
Yeah,
Yeah, we definitely want you being sober this summer.
Yeah.
I was peeing on that side of the house. I was like this, and I lifted it up, and I was like, oh my god, there was a tick on the bottom of it.
And so the terrible mother
The weather
has
is
to
nice
take
today.
a
Wouldn't you
tick
say,
out of his
Tata?
penis.
And it was really painful.
That's love.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Tabitha, what the hell's his name? Wojahn was saying.
Here, have some more.
I haven't had any.
Makes me really.
I'm not drunk. I've just been drinking.
It makes me feel special.
What Julian? What's his name? When
Major!
yeah.
Major!
I don't feel good.
Josh comes upstairs, he's like, Tabitha, who's on the couch? Who is that? I was like, I don't know.
Hey, also, get out to the backyard. There's people around. Hey, how you doing?
What the hell?
What are you freaking out about?
People are on the trampoline.
Yeah, so it's a free world. Oh, there's just people on the trampoline.
Slow down. I'm walking real slow. Is your house?
No, this is my house.
You didn't tell me you were here. It's easy.
How do you open it?
What do you mean, how do you open it? How'd you get into my property?
Man, would you tell me how to open it?
You're gonna make demands on me? This is my house.
I don't know how to open the gate, man.
How'd you get into my land? How'd you get in here? Huh?
It don't matter. I wasn't stealing nothing.
What?
Man, I'm finna hop.
You just hop over the fence? Hi. How you doing? He was on the trampoline, the other kid was halfway over the fence, and then the other two were by the fence there.
So that trampoline's not there for anybody to use?
Hell no.
Well, a perfect timing for you to get up and have a look, huh?
What a ridiculous thing. 4 guys
Ooh, jumping over the fence.
over the fence on the trampoline, and then he comes around here, and I'm like, okay, go out the gate, and he's struggling with trying to open it. How do you open this? Tell me, how do you open it? I'm saying, wait, this is my house. You don't make demands on me.
Well, as we were saying before, we are urban pioneers.
So he jumped over the fence to get out.
Isn't that amazing that they jump over the fence? I just... What wonderful shape they must be in. One, two, three. Ah!
Why can't I be normal? Why can't I fit in? Why can't I finish high school? Why can't I just live a normal life? Why can't?
It is such an educational experience. You know, he used to work at Planned Parenthood, so we were poking our nose in there yesterday, and there's a female condom. I'd never seen a female condom before. I guess that's how I got to have 5 kids. I just don't know about this stuff. I've
This
never
is
even
cock
seen them
ring. It's
before.
got a French ticklers on the outside.
What are you gonna do with all this stuff in here?
I'm gonna throw most of it away.
Isn't he guys just gonna like go ballistic?
I don't care.
Probably.
It's disgusting.
So there's stuff in here.
What are you gonna do with this after you clean
Turn
it?
it into a little coffee room.
I'm gonna put it into like a coffee room when I have like couches and a coffee maker. It's gonna be pretty.
Yeah, I think the computer can go in here too.
Does
No, wait, it's an internet coffee thing.
does Wolf know about these plants or care?
It doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant now. The only way he can move back in is if he comes in with some sort of respectful attitude, and I actually asked him to do rehab before he comes in.
And this is, what is this? Christ, I think this is actually one of the female condoms
That's
also.
a diaphragm.
Okay, yeah, this.
Maybe?
This you insert.
You guys know anything about the family over there?
What is it, a halfway house? I know.
I heard it was a halfway house over there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, it don't seem too bad. The kids, the one night, I guess they're honking a lot here on the picket line. And one kid come out and had asked, hey, you mind if I have a donut? So, yeah, come on over. So he come over and had a donut and talked with the guys. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's some kind of halfway house, I guess.
A family bought this partly rehabilitated house in 1998 from Will Bartroff, chosen to coordinate the Jordan project. The rehab remains to be finished. See, it's still not finished. We were such suckers because we'd never lived in this climate. We didn't know anything about codes. We were pretty trusting, and the neighborhood assured us that everything would work. Nathaniel wanted to come to America. His family lived here, and he thought he wanted to meet his family and have the kids, have aunts and uncles here, and some semblance of family. So I came here to support Nathaniel.
It's gotta be damn scary. It's gotta be really scary. For one thing.
Why?
Well, her legal status, is linked to our marriage, for one thing. She came over here because I wanted us to come over here. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true.
Have the two of you talked about separating?
Once.
Not really seriously.
We're gonna go to a marriage encounter weekend.
A weekend retreat for condoms and tampons. Covered in blood.
No smoking, no drugs.
Anything.
Yeah, no smoking of anything, because everybody's underage for cigarettes and all that. Although, so they have to stand outside the back fence to smoke. No sex, no same-sex sex, no
Really, no
heterosexual
overnights?
sex. I thought Mina could stay. Who knows about Wolfgang?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Tabitha's out with Tessa.
Oh, yeah, easy piece of shit.
That's her drug buddy.
What do you think I should do if they decide to have a huge party?
Oh, it's just a raid. Oh, right on the 911. They know where the place is. They've been here often enough.
Johan! That's not even action. I'm peeing on myself. Okay, we're going to the retreat now.
That would have been better if we would have happened to him, not.
Dirty jeans and proteins. I could see the crystals forming. Did I get you high enough?
I probably connect with Chanel the most. And we have more in common than than I do with Wolfgang and Tabitha. Like, me and Wolfgang probably have the most in common, the way we, like, feel and do stuff and how things just occur to us. But me and Trina have the most in common with the way we act and stuff.
Would you like this one?
Yeah.
So how long are you here?
48 hours, man. I'm gonna make a movie while I'm here.
Today until Sunday.
I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Till Sunday afternoon.
In Australia, I was so convinced I was gay and loving boys that I moved over here and all these girls would love me. And I just think it's so funny because I don't know what the fuck it is.
Okay, here it goes. Wow! Dude, that's really strange. You can't go back in because you're always going like that. My nose,
It's the same with the sirens.
It's
It's just,
sound.
yeah, I know. You have that. You can't get the same sound. That's why you have to work on it.
Like, I always feel like
you always make like weird, like sloppy noises.
You know they're gonna be waking up.
They already called.
Yeah, I know.
If you're gonna do a drug that leaves you happy at least, because when you come down from
It's even if you're not happy, it's sort of pretty because like in a way it leaves you happy, but in a way it leaves you unhappy because most people end up fucking their friends when they do X.
No, when I had sex with ecstasy, every time after I blew my load, I felt disgusting and dirty for at least a year. It was ridiculous. It was so disgusting. No matter what I did, like I'd be with a girl, right? And I'd care a lot about her, and it'd be really fun. Or like I'd be with a guy or something, right? And it's the moment I orgasmed, I just felt so disgusting, and I had to get dressed. I had to leave. I couldn't talk to them. I don't. Ugh.
okay, I'm watching. Oh, nice.
Gonna make it?
Yeah. Do you see that huge ass spider right there? Look at how big that spider is. The spiders, they're taking a hold of me. Oh no. They're taking a hold of me. I can't do anything.
And then he handed me this jelly bean that was brown, and I was like, wow, this sure doesn't look tutti fruity-ish. And then I ate it. It was the fucking vomit jelly bean. It was so disgusting. It actually tasted like vomit. Like, oh, I almost threw up on Wojahn.
Look at the spider burn. Look at him burn. Burn, biatch, burn.
All right, here we go. Now look away.
First, you said?
Wojann's the most intelligent child out of all of us, because nothing stops him. Because we had things that stopped us from doing what we wanted to do, but we showed Wojahn that he can be whatever he wants to be.
I'm gonna build a half pipe somehow.
Like, we used to let him speak in his languages, like, just every day, and he'd only speak those languages. And we'd be like, all right, you can speak it. I don't care.
For like weeks and weeks.
Yeah, it is really bright.
That's only marginally clever.
Look, just shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Go! I don't know. I think it's the pirate. Oh, I don't think so.
So was it a relaxing weekend away?
Are you crazy? We had to hold hands and pray all the time.
Was it a Christian thing?
Catholic. Oh, yeah.
Are you converted?
A lot of people fall off.
No, I think I was the only one who was, well, I think, yeah, we were not. Everybody else went to church regularly and all that stuff.
I'm the one! I am too! Woohoo!
It was well paced. It was focused. They had your best interest in mind. They didn't pretend they had the answers. They know marriage is a process and takes work. And that's what we went through. A phenomenal way to turn people around. We put together a plan and we're gonna follow it through. And with specific timetables and deadlines and observable actions that need to be done at specific times, and if we can do that, we're on our way to getting the muscles that it takes to make this work. So,
you know, relationships aren't simple, and relationships aren't simple when it's just two people, and this one is complicated by the children, the animals, the house.
It's a big unknown.
What's that unknown? What's it called?
Raising kids. Raising teenagers. I mean, there's just, there's different ways to divide the world up into groups, right? The group that has teenagers and the group that doesn't.
Do you think this is like probably a lot of other American families?
For sure. It's more, I think it's more cinematic, though, because, it's sort of like a cheerful Addams Family house,
They didn't have 2 or 3 or 4 squad cars pulled up at the door. They didn't have arrests. They didn't have somebody near death due to an overdose in the house. My guess is that. I don't know, maybe history will prove me wrong, but that's what happens at my house.
Well, I was on a lot of drugs, and I would sleep in the woods at Hidden Beach. And I had this guy, Harpo, that would give me lots of drugs, and he was a crazy man, and he,
You can take it to the bank.
he had these heroin buddies, and they'd smoke crack and shoot up heroin in the woods. He'd say, "Tabitha, come to my office." And he'd click. He was from Africa. And once he took us to his house, and he had these cage for these people, and they would sit in the corner and shoot up. And that day he'd given me a Coke and shrooms and hash. Yeah, and I was really scared, and so he couldn't drive back because he had smoked too much crack, and turned out he had stolen that car from his brother, and now he's in jail. He's asked me what I did last summer, and I know, I was like, I'm gonna answer that, honestly.
There you go.
They've gone to the furthest, absolute furthest lengths in the abuse of substances that you could even go.
I think the kids are brilliant, and as kids will, they take advantage of opportunities to express themselves and experiment with life, which is new to them, with their new strengths of mind and body, and they're spending their youth in certain ways that adults may not agree with, but they generally behave themselves quite well.
So stop and ask yourself why you're always getting high when even in the darkest of nights you'll never truly fly. Just stop and ask yourself why you're always getting high when even at the greatest of heights you'll never truly fly. I used to know a kid hell-bent on getting lifted would just sit with a grimace and listen from a distance, wait for his time to chime in for some business with his eyes sunk in and his pupils like pins head. He always had stories of his journeys through the wasteland, made his way back with 2 quarters and a spray can, but he claims he escaped from the chains of the slave man, but he acts like he's trapped by all the chaos and mayhem. And then by the day's end, he wants to be a changed man, but then when he craves them, he's back at it again. You see, a true man understands the troubles and strife, the addictions and pain that span throughout life. When the damage remains in the soul, there's a price. There's no elixir for shame except stand there and cry. There's no quick fix for blame when you're empty inside.
One major issue is that The father is not the biological father.
Nathaniel was just competing with Wolfgang. I mean, just standing up on his hackles and...
There was never any joint expression of concern over this. Or like both of us saying to Wolfgang, don't do this. No. I said to him, don't do this. Oslo remained silent.
I wanted to take Wolfgang to a homeless shelter. There was nobody, and then all the information I could get from the social services said that I was responsible for him and that I couldn't turn him out of the house, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn. He was just out of control.
I say to her, I think we need to have some sort of a united front on this. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No comment, no reaction, nothing.
Nathaniel will not discuss this bipolar with me. It's all on me.
It's been the tradition for the kids for a long time that if they have some need, like clothing or whatever, a little something, they go into their sibling's room and they get it. That practice has spread to my bedroom, our bedroom. Kids will come in and get extra change they need out of our change basket. When I go there to get bus money, it's not there. They took it. Bath towels, because we wash ours, but they are not up to date on theirs. Chocolate that we have for our own use. Just take it.
You think the kids don't respect them?
Not in the way that they feel connected to their mother.
There's some magic to the fact that she's biologically connected to the kids that I don't share because I'm not, you know? Excuse me. But this is a pretty complicated world, and if the only reason we would do things out of a sense of responsibility for others was because we were biologically related, then this would be a way different world.
Nathaniel was the person who threw Wolfgang out. And he screamed at Wolfgang. I mean, he just verbally violent. And he was screaming, and you can never come back in. You are not my son. You do not live in this house. And stuff like that. And again, I just said to Nathaniel, you can't say that. He is my son. And you cannot tell him he can never come into this house again.
We've fallen into a tradition of not talking to the kids when we're both present. So...
What?
I'm actually being ethical. He wants to go outside, so I'm letting him go outside.
Johann, just go away, and when you feel calm, come back again.
Asa, we told him to go to his bedroom. There's no reason why he shouldn't.
Well, he should.
Yes.
David was just telling us that if we don't make Johann accountable for his actions, that he's going to grow up to be worse than Wolfgang.
What would that be like?
Oh. Wolfgang, do I know the risks?
Yeah, okay, you know the risks. Get away from this cop shop.
Oh, I have to turn.
You're turning it right around the cop shop. This car doesn't have any tabs. Come on.
Okay, Wolf.
All right, you ready? Okay, you ready?
Dude, in front of the cop station? Are you serious? No. Well,
Wolfgang's not a bad person.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no,
He's a great person. He's a great person. But it's all about the choices you make.
Well, Wojahn doesn't take responsibility for his actions, and he already thinks he can do whatever he wants, go wherever he wants, get drunk if he wants, and he's 13 years old.
Well, the other time was at my sister's graduation party. They had a whole bunch of Mike's Hard, which has no alcohol content whatsoever, but she had a whole bunch of the beer and stuff. They were mixed it with Coca-Cola and stuff. And then I woke up naked on my bed. Then the gunner said that I was running around my sister's thumb. Correction.
And if he's this way when he's 13, just think of him when he's 14, 15, 16, 17.
Boredom, then what's supposed to happen? Is it supposed to be those parents who drive around in the vans and that's all they ever do is drive their kids to soccer game, then to gym class, then to choir, then to this, then the next?
I don't know if there's a way to prevent it. I'm just saying that if he has all the freedom in the world right now, when he gets older, it's just going to get worse.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
What are you doing out here?
I'm gonna have a shower on the trampoline. Woo! Jump, jump, jump. It's like, oh.
When are you gonna eat dinner?
Never neglect it. Oh, I just slipped.
So I'm like, this car's oh yeah, but there's none. And your blinkers on.
Oh, yeah.
You are supposed to be in your bedroom, and I'm not going to get out there.
Outside is my bedroom. What if I move to the outside? Then that could be my bedroom. I am free!
No, you're not.
Ow!
Over time and pressures of living, you just do the immediate necessities, and sometimes talking. I think also when you have a lot of children, especially with such big personalities, that you're always just dealing with the urgent, and anything that's not urgent doesn't get dealt with. And as long as the relationship's okay, the extra effort that it needs, or any effort that it really needs to keep it growing and deepening, isn't put in there. And so, after a few years where you've just been dealing with the urgent, with the kids, with the money, with the house, with school, then you take a breath and look at the relationship, and it's way back there. And there hasn't been any growth, and there hasn't been any deepening, and then it's like, well, how do you do that? And that's effort, and meanwhile the other urgencies of life are calling on you. So it's really what you make a priority, and we haven't really made it a priority, I guess, and this is that result.
They're pushing my boundaries. But we're using the word my. It's not Osler's and my boundaries. It's me.
Is it better not to know?
Well, I sort of know. But they'd be doing this stuff whether I knew or not.
Once my mother actually confronted me. She's like, Tabitha, will you come upstairs? And I was like, sure. And she's like, so I hear you're addicted to cocaine. And I was like,
what? Tabitha?
I was like, this is kind of awkward. And she's like, yeah. Huh? And I was like, yeah. She's like, so don't do that anymore. I was like,
hello, Nathaniel.
All right.
So it looks to me as if we're operating under two different sets of guidelines. Ethical, maybe, moral, I don't know. Maybe that's too big a word, but let's just say guidelines.
The kids come in at different times. The kids are given a fair bit of latitude.
Oh yeah. Go! Ah! Oh!
No phone.
Yes!
Julian is off fucking some drunk bitch. But Nick owns the place, and he owns the place.
Done in like 6 minutes. You are so drunk.
I think it's a disgusting thing that they're doing, but they're meeting a need. These kids want to have this option, and so some kid is providing it. And did you see the kid who's providing it? Little curly-haired boy. Looks like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth.
This is the walk. This is 6 bottles of Bacardi 151 and a bunch of fruit.
What a sweet little thing. And here he is. He runs a whole enterprise where they pay their rent by having kegos. It's the way it is.
24
prefer to sort of know what they were doing. Well, no, I don't. I prefer to be available for them to come and say, something went crazy, can you help us?
No, Wolfgang's pretty scared now.
Go ahead.
The random things that happened to you. I don't know. I was in a lot of Valium. I don't really remember. Probably around here somewhere.
So you were just standing, or were you
Oh, we
sitting?
were parked in a car.
So you're parked in a car
Mm-hmm.
on Valium.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you on Valium?
Huh?
Why were you on Valium?
Why not? I don't know. I was in a lot of Valium. I didn't really know what was going on, and I was trying to light the fringes of my pants on fire, and they were all inside getting cigarettes, and I lit myself on fire, and I couldn't put it out because I didn't have like reaction. They come out and they're like, "Oh my God, put yourself out," and I was like, "I don't know how to," and no one did. We just kind of stood there, and they were like, Until I don't remember. I was kind of blacked out because of the pain. I passed out, and I don't know. I guess some guys like put it out, and they were all like, "Hey, can we get a cigarette for doing that?" And then I don't know. Jessica just threw a pack of cigarettes at them and drove back to school.
You know, this dog is about the only member of the family that has a leash.
So what I'll do is I'll grab them out of the car, I'll release them to you, and then sorry to bother you for the rest of the night. Okay?
I'll go.
All right, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
I should have taken your advice. I should have.
No, stop right there. Stop right there. You're not walking into this house as some kind of hero.
I didn't.
No.
think I was.
No. You're not walking into this house as some kind of hero. It doesn't make me think you're cool that you get to be in the back of a police car. That makes you think you're cool. No, you don't need to make any smart remarks to me. You already made them to the officer, and he's doing his job. And all you do is give him shit. Bunch of smart-ass little kids acting smart back to the police. All he's doing is doing his job.
And no, I don't know what he said about being rude. We were perfectly fine. We told him everything. We weren't smart at all. We were just like, yeah. We weren't smart
Well, you
at all.
guys were kind of hyper.
I told you not to go, and he just finished telling you the same thing. And you think you're hot shit.
And then,
We
the
weren't
cop
going
was
against you guys in the movie.
Nathaniel told us it's a bad idea. He never told us not to go.
He just said it was a bad idea.
And he said you might be picked up by cops.
We
He never
accepted
said
that factor. We were like,
Yeah, we were
okay,
like,
we
well,
risked it.
We risked it, but he never said not to go. He said you shouldn't go.
And then when we got back here, he said, "You should. I told you guys not to go out. I told you twice, and you all heard that." It's like you didn't tell us not to go out. You just warned us.
Acting all smart, all three of you. Oh yeah, that's so cool. We got picked up in the back of a police car.
I'm not trying to brag about it, but their seats are super comfortable. And once you get your feet in the right places, there's a lot of leg room, and their seats are so
Not when
comfortable.
you're sitting in the middle.
It's such a nice car too. They've got the computer there with like the newest systems, like the XP. Yeah, they have really nice cars. When I looked at it, that thing could reach like 180. That car.
Now, why do you have such good cars if only 1 in 5 they ever actually catch?
No, they catch more than 1 out of 5. They catch like 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5.
When we went to this marriage retreat in April, we were sleeping in the same bed, sharing the same room, and now we're not. So things are changing. There's a separating of the lives.
Is that the way you see it, Daniel?
Yeah, sounds fair.
Well, my boss has taken a corporate job. She's going in-house for a securities firm, and so we've been closing down the business for the last month.
It's a little bittersweet. I'm quite frankly sad to see my relationship with Oslo go. She's been absolutely stupendous, a stellar employee.
I have to find a job. But how am I going to find a job? I mean, how am I going to be any use at a job with the whole house falling apart?
This is a crisis. This is serious. This is bad. But I'm not packing my bags. I'm not walking out on my family. I'm not running out on my family.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. We have just been drinking. That's why I'm happy.
This drinks make
How
me happy.
you doing?
2 beers, 2 ciders.
No, I'm gonna get some food because I'm tipsy. Hey, Mark.
Are you happy too?
Yeah.
We live in a fundamentalist country, and the Bible says, take a little wine for your stomach, and our stomachs need it tonight.
Yeah, they do.
All right. We're gonna eat in a second, but I'm really happy that the family could deign to everybody be here at the table. Okay, so here's the Chanel.
Kiss me.
Got a drink here.
No.
Chanel hasn't got a drink.
Yes,
Go
we
ahead,
did.
shit.
All right.
The bonus ever.
Okay, buddies.
To her success,
I'm not even gonna come.
may it be plentiful, and to
Yeah.
her friends.
You're the real classy people don't even blink, mother.
Did you ever read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? And Narnia, and those 4 kids? This is like, the world is like our Narnia.
How long did Wojahn spend with this video camera?
He's in love with it.
Look at him, that's creepy.
It is kind of creepy.
Is that him in the
What's he
box?
saying?
No, not yet. Trying to find it, but this
He
is
brought
a
it into the
long
bath
time.
with him?
Doing half battery length. My battery is running out, and I do not know what. Well, I've got to go and. Oh, hello, little guy.
Which we're not going to watch because that would be child pornography, and we're not doing that.
Also, like, little brother.
It's like we're all twins or something. We can read each other's minds. It's weird.
Mr. Rhodes!
Yes! Look at the CD that comes with it.
Oh my god, Aaron Carter and Nick Carter!
Oh my god, you're a hero.
Oh man, that's so cool.
That's
it. That?
Oh my god.
Oh, that
Yes! Yes!
What is it?
It's a little Snoop Dogg action figure.
Oh, very
is.
cool.
So how does it make sense to leave it?
I don't. Oh, yeah, now I do.
Oh, wow,
such
the
a good
triplets
movie.
of Bill. Thank you.
Oh, look, a year's supply of granola bars. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow.
Little instrument.
Have to play it. He said you blow like
Oh my god. This instrument is used by Dai minority in southwestern China. It is a 3-pronged flute with drone.
Whoa, there's no like. Oh, yeah.
Wow, thanks you guys. That's very cool.
Our family is very, very close. And we're all very close in different ways. But we're not like, I don't think we're close like most families. But we just, I don't know, it's weird.
Boys are more fun and prettier and better than a sex toy.
Well, that's always been my approach too, honey.
You're the one with the trunk full of sex toys.
And how did you know that I kept them in my trunk except when you were snooping?
You have like pink ones and orange ones and
She
yellow
was
ones.
snooping
and
in
then,
my
like,
trunk.
They look like claws. Like, why would you want to look at this thing sexually? It's like a rubber penis. It's like a claw. She has a platypus. A platypus.
The garden of the self. The relationship can get lost in the midst of all the things that go on. People's selves can also get lost in the midst of all the stuff that goes on.
Okay, so this.
Tabitha, do you drink wine at the family dinner?
She can have a little bit.
Have a little bit.
Make you feel happier, dear. But she is 16.
It could be a little strong for her.
Yeah.
Look at the fabulous little bit woman.
Yeah. He's a literal kind of guy.
Little bit.
He's very
not
literal.
a specific amount.
So next time, make sure your mother serves you.
As little as possible.
When I was like 6 years old or 5, she was like, "You can pierce your ear when you're 8." I'm like, "Okay, sweet." So then when I'm 8, I ask her if I can pierce my ears, and she's like, "No." And then I'm like 11. She's like, "No." I'm 12. No, I do it anyways.
What a rebel.
Yeah, considering I helped you pierce it.
Pass this back.
No, I already pierced it. You helped put in a
You
different
did. You
earring.
came into the kitchen with a safety pin halfway through your ear.
Alright, so me and Jason are sleeping on the roof. We moved his bed out there because it was really hot in the house. So we're sleeping on the roof, and Wolfgang comes out, and he's all, "Woo!"
And how close were you with Jason while you were sleeping with him?
What are you talking about? Who's Jason?
The little birdie. The guy that was sleeping in the
with
bed.
Jason. You're still a
Hello.
virgin.
What's wrong with you?
So now, Tabitha, you're not.
She's turning red again. Despite all her makeup, she's turning red.
Tabitha.
She's a virgin. Tabitha is a virgin.
Like you know, Wojahn.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you were fooling around with Jason on the roof, not necessarily to actual penetration of the penis. It's getting first, second, and third.
Stop it. Stop.
Get it?
Interesting.
Stop talking, please.
Wow, this story's getting really interesting.
No, mommy.
Wow.
Look, you're making.
You little shit.
You're making her.
Hey, I plead the fifth. So,
Hey, mommy, I need to find out. Did you and mommy do the special hug before you were married?
What was it? I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
I think you have to stuff bread in.
That's only in a law of
Where's
court,
the bread?
man.
Where's the bread?
That's only in a law of court.
A law of court. Yeah, that's right. Only in a law of court.
Part of it is how do you want to be loved, and and maybe that's how I want to be loved. It's just not a possibility here. How Nathaniel wants to be loved. It's just not going to happen.
Today is the day, actually since midnight, I've been 8.5 hours completely sober of every mind-altering substance, even cigarettes. I'm pretty proud. Holding strong, 8.5 hours. I'm pretty pumped. And also today is also the day marking that Claire and I have been going out for 4 months, which is, if you didn't know, 1/3 of a year, which is a very long time. I want to turn 18 being a few months sober, and some drugs take a really long time to get out of your system. You know? I didn't know that. And I've also got to get a job. And I want to do community service, have that warrant taken off. And then just being sober just gives you a lot more time and free, unclouded thought to really get what you need to be done.
Each person has their ideal of what a relationship should be or is going to be, their dream, their ideal of what it should be and their dream of what it's going to be. And they haven't necessarily done a reality check on that.
This is a commitment. This ring right here is a commitment. This is what I said to the kids when we were married. I would be wearing this when I died. That's what I said. This is a lifetime commitment that I have made to this relationship.
She's just everything I want. And I'm everything she wants, and that's the best part. That she wants me and I want her. And it's just so beautiful, and I could just go for hours talking about it. Her name is Claire.
Most beautiful, incredible, gifted, stunning woman I've ever seen, I've ever met. I can't believe it. I cannot explain to you, no one can explain to you the feelings I have for Asa.
I love her so much. I just can't even put it in words. Sometimes I get all jumbled and I can't say it to her about how much I love her. I'm like 8 feet, but I'm so which is weird, because I always thought that the word love was just abused and just raped of all meaning in this day and age. But then, I don't know, I mean, I'm so young, I don't really know what love is. So I don't really have any frame of reference to judge it by. But I'd say if I did, or ever was able to feel love, I'd say I feel it now.
Nobody could have predicted where we are now 5 months ago. I mean, maybe, but you know.
There does come a point in a relationship where what you've got and what you wanted aren't the same. You know, and that's a point that where you get to knock that out. I mean, in a relationship that had open communication and you would be able to knock that out.
One night I can go to the Children of Alcoholics meeting.
Yeah.
One night I go to see the psychologist. 2 nights I go to work out. Okay, that's 4. I still have 3 left. Oh, I forgot. I'm doing a PhD. Oops. Wait, I forgot. I'm working 40 hours or more. Also, oh shit. Oh well, there's still an hour or 2 in there somewhere.
When you put the pressure of 5 kids and me and finances and studying, then you get what you are. You know?
I can't, I mean, I feel as if I've made all sorts of best efforts at communicating and changing and all that kind of stuff. And it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it's kind of paradoxical, I guess. You didn't tell us where you were. You didn't tell us where you were going to be, what you were going to be doing. I'm not saying what you tried to do. You probably tried to do 100 things. You said you were going to, I mean, not you said. You didn't tell us where you were. We didn't know. We had no idea. That makes no difference. Makes absolutely no difference. Your first responsibility is to us and to be home after school.
With the kids, we're equal but different. We are the adults. We do have responsibilities that they don't have. But as a person, we're each equal. Whereas this one is more the authoritarian. I'm the adult. I'm superior. You're the child. You need to do what I say. You need to respect me. You need to do this and that and the other. And there's not there's just not that acknowledgement of them as being equal people.
So what I'll do is I'll talk to you later on. It's very frustrating. I'll come down and get you when I'm ready. And that's the way it is. If you want to decide, you make all the decisions that you want to make. You want to go where you want to go, when you want to go, say what you want to say, do what you want to say, what you want to do. Well, that's the choice you make. And then I have to pick up the pieces. And that's what I'll do later. Bye.
That is one of the big frictions between Nathaniel and I, because I'm always saying, you know, we're all the same here. Yes, we are the adults, and when it comes to it, we step up as the adults and we take the responsibility. But we're not more than them.
Oh no, that don't happen here, buddy. No, sir. No. They put Nathaniel in his place, and then they put Nathaniel in his place, and then they put Nathaniel in his place, and then they put Nathaniel in his place. Oh, no, sir. Wouldn't it be interesting if I had a voice in terms of what should happen?
You need to ask Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, would it be okay if me and I had a cigarette outside with our mother?
Well, I have just such a problem with that because of this exact time last year, this was Drug Central Minnesota, you know?
Drug Central Minnesota.
You're so funny, Owen.
No, he's gonna get in a lot of trouble. And for me, that's what happens, that people smoke when they're not allowed to. And I was forced to go to what the law says. You can't smoke until whatever age it is. I don't know what some stupid rule. 18? And you can't drink until that age either, because there was nothing left for us to do. We said don't smoke, people smoked anyway. We said don't drink, people drank anyway. We said don't use drugs, people use drugs anyway. We said don't go places without telling us, and people still go places without telling us. So what are we left with? To be able to say, don't do something? I said to Wojahn, go to his bedroom. Does he do it? No, nothing. There's absolutely nothing that we say that the kids should do that they actually do, unless they want to. It's the absolute bottom line truth, and no one can deny it. You know, it's really hard. How do you even compliment people with that?
Nathaniel, the thing is, you told Tabitha that she could smoke with you in Mexico.
No, I was probably just being silly, but...
Well, it sounded to me like you said that
yes,
she could.
it's fine. She can smoke, she can have sex, she can have drugs, she can drink, do whatever. Because there's nothing we can do. This house isn't run by the rules of Asla and me.
Well, how's it run?
It's run by whoever wants to do whatever they want, however they want, whenever they want. That's how it's run.
At 10 o'clock, the house should shut down. They won't receive any phone calls, and they shouldn't be making any phone calls. They should be in their rooms with the door shut, preparing to sleep. I mean, like, what planet are you on?
Over and over and over I hear how badly things are being done, how there's not enough, how I'm rude, how I'm not supportive, how I'm just not considerate, okay, if you say so,
Here goes the teddy bear tampon bomb.
Wait, no, I got one.
Teddy bear tampons! Teddy bear tampons!
You're wearing some shit over there and I don't like it. I don't like it. This is all I've got. And I'm watching you risk it being destroyed. That bothers the hell out of me, Wojahn. Of course, it doesn't make any difference to other people. Maybe it could all disappear and who cares? We'll go and get another one. But it's all I've got. So do it out of a favor to me. Do it out of respect to me. If nothing else.
I wasn't burning any flammable or explosive.
Don't burn a thing! man can get here. Yes, it will.
Why is there a stars?
Sit in back, Gil.
Yeah, let's hope it explodes. It's gonna explode. I'm standing over here, man. That's how it does. Come on, do something. I burned the teddy bear first. Did you spray hairspray on it? Yeah.
I'm feeling very, very insecure about the safety of the house.
Yes.
Which you live in, Tabitha lives in,
I understand
lives
that.
in.
That's why I'm moving right now. Can I just move, please?
And you don't pay a penny towards it.
Well, I would if I had some money, but you see I don't.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, and this is the only time it's true. Do you think I have a job when I'm 13 years old? Because I don't think I have a job.
Well, the tampons are lit. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing burning. Sure. I know.
Don't burn it. It doesn't make any difference. I said to you upstairs, don't burn it. So you come downstairs and burn it. You don't give a flying fuck. That's what it is. Jesus.
All right. No, it's no. Don't. It's back up. Still burning. Back up. All right.
Yeah, I'm falling apart. It's appropriate to say, well, this one was just a tract. Like I thought of writing for TCAF. Hold on. Hello, how you doing? I'm Nathaniel.
Yeah, I've met you before, Nathaniel. Julian.
Julian.
Yes, nice
Good.
to see you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
How you doing? Who are you looking for?
Tabitha.
Oh, you were standing here in the corner that one day.
One day, yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay. Well, don't need to be, you look like you're scared of me, but
No.
I'm not
Well, I mean, I don't know,
trying
you're kind of an
to
intimidating
scare you.
person sometimes because I heard you yelling at Jason one morning. But besides that...
Well, if you want to be intimidated, go right ahead. If you want to leave, go right ahead.
No, I
I got
don't want to.
no
I just want to see
problem with
Tabitha
it.
and say what's up to
You know, I really got no problem with it because I got no patience. I really got no patience. If you want to be intimidated and you want to go away because I'm intimidated,
No, I don't
go right
feel
ahead. I
intimidated.
intimidate my own children.
I just said slightly
You know,
intimidated. I'm not
well,
intimidated.
then,
Don't worry about it.
why don't you just go? You know, why don't you just go this time and come another time when you're feeling a little more respectful?
Did I disrespect you in some way?
I feel disrespected.
You feel disrespected?
Yeah. Why don't you just go and come back another time when I'm in a better mood and you too? Yeah, go ahead.
Tabitha, can I have my shoes before I go? Because my feet are really hurting.
Yeah.
I just skated all the way up here from Uptown, and then your father, Nathaniel, felt disrespected by me or something.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna go.
It didn't do anything.
What I did, and I leave these for Chanel, so Chanel's gonna bring her shoes back.
All right, thank you.
I don't even know where I was
I'm supposed to be treated by smartasses as if it's just fine. And then they get in a big righteous indignation thing that I have some idea that this is my house. Happens all the time, and then my kids get all righteously indignant about what a mean, nasty asshole I am and all that, and how I intimidate people and whatever.
Sounds like a vicious circle.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, you know? This is my home. I do pay the mortgage here. I do expect respect. You know? Yeah. I don't need kids to come up to the door and say, oh, you intimidate me. Well, then fuck off. Go somewhere where there's a dad that you get along with. It's pretty simple.
The thing is that he has a mental issue.
If I say hello, that's one thing I can say. I'm responded to with anger, indignation, condescension, arrogance, disdain, animosity, petulance, and bitterness. They treat me like shit, but they need me to make sure they have sheets to sleep under, beds to sleep on, food to eat, something to keep them dry out of the rain. You have some sort of image that, you know, what the hell? It's really confusing to me. really confusing to me.
He has a mental issue, and the prognosis was that therapy wouldn't be helpful. In fact, therapy would be damaging. That pills would be much better, but he's not going to take pills, and he's not going to go see a psychiatrist, and he's going to pretend, because only he and I and the therapist that we were seeing at the time know about this, he is just going to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Oh, I can live under these circumstances. I can fake it. Oh, for a long, long time. Cheers. I can present a facade to the world of being completely together as a nice, friendly guy. For a long, long, long time.
His thinking is not reality-based. Alcoholic personality, ambivalent gender identity, hates women, psychotic.
I provide a place for them to live. I provide food for them. And I have to decide, should I continue to do that or not? At what cost?
Look at me. I can find a bisexual, bipolar, alcoholic personality in a crowd of thousands, millions. You know, I just have a gift.
Are you being loved, Nathaniel, the way you'd like to be loved?
No, I don't think so.
I just don't think Nathaniel wants to be in my world. Or should I say, the world that he wants me in isn't, it's not a real world. He comes home and he whines and complains that he doesn't have any friends. You've heard him say he doesn't have any friends. And you know, when he gets in this, whatever he's in at the moment, which I'm beginning to think is very alcoholic. It's the easiest way to describe it. It's just like an alcoholic doing this, like a dry alcoholic. He has friends out of the woodwork. Oh, I'm going to coffee with friends.
With friends, you talk about stuff and you help each other out, you know, that kind of thing.
So how are they helping you out?
I don't know how to put detail into it. Being friends, I mean, it's a big thing. You know, I like the whole idea of being accepted for who I am and all that kind of thing, and that's really great. Accepting them for who they are, just carrying on, you know. It's not perfect, but I think it's essential.
Yesterday, he was out with friends from 5 to 10. I mean, what sort of manipulative behavior is that? And when I say, I'm going out with Kim, I'm going out with somebody, but friends? Who are these friends? He doesn't have these friends all the time, and he never mentions their name. Get yourself a glass.
Here. There you go.
Okay.
Now everybody has their wine glass.
All right, now we're happy.
Let's toast to Asla's 44th birthday.
Cheers. Happy 44th birthday. My wine is so good.
Why do you always sit by me? I mean, this whole little secret life that he has, that's kind of, I feel like that's a moving on thing.
Yeah,
They don't have a cell phone.
Stop it! Stop it!
Why does he have a cell phone? That's weird.
Because he has a secret life and he has to have a cell phone to have his secret
You know,
life.
I don't think I want to be a part of this family anymore.
Why is that, babies?
You haven't seen the other
See how
house
upset she is?
Nathaniel
It's very upsetting. He has a cell phone.
So am I allowed this cell phone number to my father's phone?
Oh yeah, I have it in my phone.
See?
I sent text messages.
Look
I'm
at
serious.
that.
Me and Nathaniel were sending text messages all throughout like the day after.
I didn't even know you had us. I didn't even know you guys were fighting until you told me that he was sleeping on the couch.
When you guys are
He's not
fighting.
sleeping on the couch.
What?
Fall down bed.
No, I feel bad about
It's
the
a
other
couch, Mommy.
family.
I don't think he's having an affair. I just think that he's having a life that's not with me. Well, that sucks.
I really like working with him. He's always making jokes. It just makes the day, my day really happy.
Honey, leave the table. Leave
Okay, no. If someone Ezra says, yeah, I probably shouldn't swear at the table, so I'll just say the F word, so, just because I don't want to. Okay, so if someone ever says, yeah, well, I was effing your mom last night. You got it.
Wait,
we're at the end of it. I want to hear this.
We like to do the same things. We think a lot alike. I mean, it seems like I know him for a long, long time. So he's really nice.
Go, Wolfgang! Oh, do come in!
So Wolfgang, how's the job going?
Wolfgang,
It's going
Nathaniel
fine.
has a cell phone.
It was nice seeing you last night.
Oh, that wasn't a good reaction.
It was nice to see you last night.
What?
It was nice to see you last night.
It was good.
Wolf, Wolf, what do you come hide? That's not smart.
Hi. Do I look high?
Yeah.
Wolfgang,
Oh man. Whoa.
This is.
You can smile at everyone. They will smile.
Don't stick your fingers in my cake!
I didn't, don't worry.
Oh my goodness, that's
It's impossible.
Do you feel like you two are becoming better friends?
After tonight?
It's not after tonight. It is tonight.
Is this the first time you've all done something out after work?
We're not friends. We're colleagues.
Colleagues?
This fireplace, it's out of control. It has been for a while. I don't know that I'm having any positive effect. They've been together for 12 years. You know, what does it mean? Well, it means that they could be together another 12 days.
Actually, I think I knew he had a cell phone.
I found out on the 2nd. Around like
Call it
9
He
p.m.
told me he had one, but he didn't give me the number.
Like, what do you say? Like, I have a cell phone.
You can't remember the number?
No, I asked her for
Well,
the
I mean, a
number.
man's gotta have a life outside of his family.
I think I asked him for the number though. I don't think he just.
You do? Why can't
Yeah, I asked him too.
He's the middle child as well.
Right, so you've got lots of empathy there, I can see.
Yeah, but she said.
We're becoming friends. No, we're becoming friends.
Cada vez que él contesta no tiene respuesta.
See, we're becoming friends.
Yeah.
You can love as much as possible.
There's always this highly excited state or this sort of nadir of depression, and it's kind of a bipolar household.
He talked about going to Bolivia for a year. I was just shocked. I mean, he has, I think he's, you know, maybe I've been just dumb and numb and stuff, but I feel like when he said that, I was like, what do you mean I go to Bolivia for a year? It's like, crap, where is Nathaniel? Why can't he be? This is a big deal.
It is a big deal. Like, they're separated. Like, she's talking about moving to Australia. Yeah, Wojahn, you know if Mommy leaves and then you won't be with Nathaniel.
What? What'd you say? Oh, I didn't hear you. Say it again, please.
You honestly don't care?
No, say it. See this? No, say it again.
You know, Mom and Nathaniel are separated.
Are they really?
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty.
Want me to know what that means? Like, you won't be working
They're not
at
separated.
Kowalski
They're
just
not
for fun.
separated.
You have to support this one. You have to support Mommy now.
They're not separated.
Yes, they are.
They live in this house
Ask Mommy,
together.
would you tell him? Because you can't hide this from him. He won't know if you don't tell him.
I don't think he's listening.
He is.
I am listening.
I just feel I just beat myself up about it. Like, what a terrible person. Being married 3 times, dragging the kids around the world. Now now I'll take them away from Nathaniel. He's kind of taken himself away, but, you know, I'll physically take them away.
So Wojahn, we're not doing very well, and we're talking about separating.
Really? You mean divorcing?
Well,
just say it. Say it.
No, we haven't talked about divorcing. We've talked about separating.
I mean, can't you just like separate and the whole stay in the same house?
Okay, where's my coat?
So,
okay, where's my coat?
if Nathaniel and I separate, we won't have this house.
I know. What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is such a beautiful house. And I haven't seen any spiders in so long. Like this separation, I know it's gonna be really bad for Nathaniel, but I can't think unhappy. Like, it's just not me to think unhappy. Like, literally, it's just not my personality. It's not my personality, it's just me. Like,
What a night, huh?
What?
Jeez, I just thought I was gonna come over and have a chat with you two.
Yeah, well, it's obviously in the air. I mean, Chanel just made that announcement herself.
what was the announcement?
God.
What?
And then Sunday was the brunch. And so the brunch came. I was busy cooking in the kitchen, and he was busy talking to people out here. And at 11-ish, I think, I'm not sure, but I think it was 11-ish, a friend of mine said to me, "So how long hasn't Nathaniel been wearing his wedding ring?" I said, "What?" She said, "He doesn't have his wedding ring on." I said, "No, that is just, it can't be." Because he has always, it's always been such a huge thing for him, the wedding ring. I take mine off when I'm printing because it marks the plate, and he gets very upset whenever he hears that I've taken it off. I mean, he's really made it into a very important part of the relationship, the wedding ring. So for him to not be wearing it was huge. And so I went and I looked, and sure enough, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring. I went back into the kitchen and I was cooking, and I said to my friend, "Yeah, you're right." And what happened inside of me was like when you have a glass and you put hot water in it and it cracks, and then you hear that little tink, and then it falls, and then the whole thing just falls. It's not a loud shatter. It was just, that was what happened to my heart. I just felt it just crack all over, and then a little tink, and it just fell in pieces. And I mean, I want to just curl up in a ball somewhere under the bed. So we are challenged to talk about difficult issues, but Nathaniel communicates very clearly, as I expect I do. Not necessarily with words, though. Actions are communicating very clearly what's going on.
Strictly speaking, I would like you to meet my greeting with a greatly needed warm season's meaning. See, this life is fleeting, and as uncompleted dreams bleed from the ceiling, leaving needless trails, hailing the proceedings, pleading that treating these inner demons reaches deeply in your grievance, beseeching the unseen heathens, creeping rhyme, nor reasonless, teaching us these evil beliefs are as useless as diesel trucks. Supposed to help out Nathaniel.
Okay, so this is the letter that I wrote. In response to Nathaniel saying he never gets any emotional input from me. So I was like, okay, I'll give you some emotional input.
Yeah, like Pablo Neruda once wrote, he wrote an intimate letter to millions of people. I thought, what a nice title, you know.
When I gave me to you, I gave all of me, the good, bad, and ugly me. I wanted to share my body, mind, emotions, spiritual self, all of me. From you, I got only bits, the bits you chose to share. Large chunks, it seems, are blocked off and unavailable. When I approached you about my need for greater intimacy, I got even less of you. I feel as though you want me to love you like a child is loved, a lot of giving with very little returned. I feel not acceptable to you. I have tried many different things over the years to increase our emotional intimacy, including the question of your language of love. That was probably my last effort. Then I tried sex toys, as you seem to me so disinterested in me sexually. I've never been one for toys, but if it was something we did together and might open up some intimacy, I was willing. But you wanted to watch me using them. Again, the distance. I feel a lack of involvement from you, like I was performing to please you. This is not anything I wanted a part in. Even after all this time, you have never told me what your language of love is. This makes me wonder if I'm even the person you want to be loved by. For me, you are committed, faithful, intimate, and sharing all of you, or it is not a marriage. I have been and am very unhappy living separately in this relationship. This separateness has always been a part of our relationship. Although at first I thought you were just getting used to being in a big family, then I thought it was the pressures of life. But now I know it just is. That is how you choose to be with me in this relationship.
I'm not ready to go to a psychiatrist and say, give me drugs because I'm mentally, whatever the word is. I want to be accepted for the person that I am right now. I'm perfectly willing to change. I'm perfectly willing to do all sorts of things, but I'm not perfectly willing to continue to twist myself into unrecognizable shapes. You can't live like that. What, are we lost? No? says we can't talk early in the morning. It's just too early or whatever. We can't talk late at night. It's just too late. And I'm like, well, that's all we got. I go home to the house, and it's pointed out to me, and all my shortcomings are pointed out to me, over and over and over and over, and over and over. And then I'm compared with the father of 4 of the children. He's got broad shoulders. He's really good looking. He has phenomenal sex. What the fuck? What the fuck? She's been frustrated to death with me since early in our marriage. And then the ultimate, let's just put it on film. I don't like women. And that refers to my sexual orientation. That is what I was told 2 days ago. Maybe she was saying, I love you madly, Nathaniel. Maybe that's what she was saying. And then to hear that I'm mentally unbalanced and I need medication for it? What the fuck? Currently, there's a guy here who's willing and has done it to give everything, his time, his sweat, his money, his blood, everything to the family. Everything. I don't want people sitting in the kitchen and they're having an animated discussion about how exciting it was when Chanel was conceived on a trampoline.
Johan! Alright, let's go.
Yes. Well, do you want to start it, Nathaniel? You seem pretty interested in some rules to go by. Do you want to get a timer?
I'm saying how we should do this, in other words. I'm not going to take that responsibility.
I will. The basis of this meeting, so everyone knows, is so we can ask them what is going on, because none of us are getting a clear answer. That was that hard, so tell the other side. Yeah.
Not really.
There's no usual fun. Johan, you want to start? Just ask questions. Or talk to them. I don't care. Do something. Alright, well, you tell me when to go.
No. There's got to be a reason for this. Like, you and Nathaniel, or just Mommy, just said there's something going on at this meeting, so I thought there was going to be something planned to talk about. So, you know, I don't know what to talk about. I wasn't planning on coming in. I was just planning on coming and listening.
Are you gonna say something?
No, I don't have anything to say.
What's going on between you two? Are you guys getting a divorce? You splitting up? Are you gonna stay together? What's going on?
I think you have to say somebody's name.
I think you just gotta grab it and take it.
Mommy or Nathaniel? Or both? What are your opinions on what's going to go on?
We don't sleep in the same room anymore. We don't talk to each other. Yeah, we're living separate lives. And since we're all a part of this family, it affects everybody. What have you got to say, Nathaniel?
I know that there's custom in our family of everybody being able to go into anybody else's things and borrowing them whenever they want for any period of time, at any time of the 24 hours all year long. I know that that's true, and it's been true for years. Everyone feels comfortable just going into someone else's room, and if they see something like a pair of shoes or a pair of pants or a shirt or anything else that they want to use at that time, they feel very comfortable just taking it. we used to keep chocolate in our bedroom because we wanted to keep chocolate in our bedroom, and I thought that was fine too. Suddenly, people felt that it was theirs too. Roughly, somewhere around 10 o'clock, I believe that the house should start to be shutting down. People should start getting towards sleeping, that type of thing. Just as a routine. The phone, our telephone, the home phone, wouldn't be used for phone calls, not coming in, not going out, after 10 o'clock.
Do you want to find a solution, or do you feel that it is too far or whatever?
The solution to what?
Because, well, you could have it that the children living here, like one of them could take it off the hook, and so to make calls they could just rehook it to make the calls and then take it off again. And the person who was using your things was me. It was wrong, I should have asked you, but you know, once again, like, I was afraid to, I didn't know how to or whatever. Pretty much up until I moved to family, I was still like the #1 problem of the family.
We're all capable of coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning and having boys in our room and having people over, so it's not just Wolf. I felt that the family stayed together when Wolf was here because you two could argue about Wolfgang as a facade for really arguing towards each other, but it was just about Wolfgang, so you didn't really feel as if it was that personal and like you two had the issues, which are now obviously arising because you don't have someone to blame it onto. As for the whole borrowing thing, I think it's just a lack of common courtesy. We all know what's right and wrong. We all know what disrespects people and what shows obvious respect. And I think we're not realizing that enough. Like, we're not just really realizing the effect that every action has a reaction.
All this stuff is, all of it, they're stresses. It's very stressful to have 4 teenagers at once. But it's not your fault that we don't get on.
I mean, I just don't get it. It seems like you should just get back together because, I mean, if you two do divorce, I mean, maybe you'll find special people again, I don't know, but you'll never have the story. I mean, you two met in Costa Rica, you courted through Australia, you came here. I mean, you're not gonna find someone like that again.
Look at that picture and just like,
yeah, we get all
just
weepy
look
eyed
at
and
that
like,
picture.
think of the good times.
Think of the children, damn it! Because like if the children were the problem, then now the children understand.
I mean, we can leave if you like. You guys can have this house for a while. We can go. I mean, shit.
We just feel like this is our fault entirely. I don't see like you guys explained. Well, you explained like the problems you were having with us. You didn't really explain the problems you were having between you two.
I don't think you two even know. You guys don't even talk.
Like you guys said, you had
notes
problems
to
between
each other.
us. Like we were loud. We wouldn't let you guys sleep.
So are you going to answer Tabitha's question, Nathaniel?
I started to talk about it before.
She was talking about us and our relationship.
Yeah, those things, the borrowing each other's stuff and using the telephone all of the 24 hours, that includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
But I'm talking about like you two specifically.
I wasn't saying,
you two.
I didn't ever say that it's things the kids are doing and that's disastrous and that's the cause. I didn't say that. The 2 events that I mentioned specifically, because it's important to be specific, have to do with all 6 of us.
Yes, and we understand that now. We're past, but you two,
like excluding the 2, the 5
There's
kids.
obviously a different purpose, a different atmosphere to this meeting
So
than
what's
most
the
have been.
question that...
Do you know why you're sleeping in a different room as opposed to your wife?
Yes.
Do you feel comfortable telling us? I mean, that's what we're asking, is it something that we do not need to be involved in?
Right now, or past month and a half or 2 months or whatever, it's become very clear to me that your mom and I disagree fundamentally on some very, very important issues about having a family and about relating to each other.
I thought we were a family. The point of family is that we all
We are a family.
love each other, whatever it is. And I mean, yeah, it's gonna be shit, and we all try. And
that's not what I
we
was
have
just
our
talking about.
But it sounds like it's not enough. Like, it sounds like you don't fit into your picture of what a family is.
You're not talking
So what
about
do you
it.
think? Are you strongly feeling like it's almost enough that you might just get a divorce? Like you just, because by not ignoring it, the only option you see is by getting a divorce.
It's not the only option that I see. It is one option.
2 people got married, and 2 people made vows, and 2 people made an agreement.
The bottom line is, if you two can't get over it, then we can't get over it, and if we can't get over it, then there's no point to anything, and it's just like, don't drag us through anything, or don't drag each other through anything, just do it. Just do it, you know?
Okay, so how to move forward from this point right now?
I think you both just gotta be open.
Alright, so to find solutions to the phone thing, do you want the kids, someone to be responsible at 10 o'clock to make sure the phone is off, and so...
Yeah, exactly. Let's just deal
like-
with the little things.
Yeah,
You
that
want us to
makes
take
sense,
the
like-
phone off the hook?
We can just do that in Chanel's room. We can take it off, and if we want to make a phone, we can put it back on, make a phone call, and then keep it off. I mean,
Alright,
that's
so then
pretty
the phone
logical.
one.
Like,
Are we all in agreement? Aye, whatever
Aye.
it's supposed to be, yeah, aye.
I remember that.
I'm glad everyone was here.
I think we just need to make
Come on.
sure is that we all
Come on.
hear you just
Come on,
gotta
Johan.
speak. I don't like how you say it.
This whole family is, this whole family never touches.
It's like,
Well, like,
you don't
fuck,
touch
there's a
me.
hole
Oh,
there.
it's fine because you care. Otherwise you would be like,
hey, you're not going anywhere. You would have had a little family.
oh, hello. See, look at us. We're interacting like real family.
Yeah, communication.
My pain's so visceral, my sadness visible. Portrait portraying a troubled individual. Maggot brain eating me, cancer sticks killing me. Scotch and Stoli on the rocks, am I kidding me? You must be kidding me, telling me you ain't feeling me. Love, anger, hate, my emotion trinity. Kick off my wallaby, said Ghostface wannabe. My 9740 don't cruise like Penelope. Righteousness a part of me, dick the wicked imagery. Lyrics so vivid, deserves a 6-figure salary. Feeling so livid, M-Dot's anatomy. Out goes the swine, imp with the celery. I was Bill Bellamy, heartbreak answered me. How to be a player, had the script down precisely. Overall, I knew I was wrong like an Osley. Truth stripped naked, I'm my own enemy. They're rocking a hard place, tell me now how could it be? Luck when preparation met opportunity. I need a green card to verify my validity. I'm still breathing, so that's possibility. Anything is possible, so possible that is my gospel. Seems so very logical that just about anything is possible, so possible that is my gospel. Seems so very logical that just about anything is. I I knew from the get-go I exceeded a threshold. In the club against the wall like a gecko. All these posers trying to look retro. Music's too loud for me to say hello. I know I'm a good fellow, I'm rarely ever shallow, but I want a baker's man, a cat with a lot of dough.
It's right. That love ruined my life. But I don't think it's wrong. Getting a little revenge in a song. Hearts don't lie. Who you gonna run to? To now, you know I would've died for you, but wasn't like you loved me anyhow. You know I'm right. You know I'm
Yeah, that's right. You are recording. Yeah. You nincompoop. Wait, hang on.
Where's Grandma? Oh, they are.